What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the right side of the map in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Matreiuss. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki. His name is Gaboo. Gaboo, the Loki main, the Loki 1 trick, though I have seen him dabbling with Uranus from time to time, but I guess anyone who can play Loki could probably play Uranus at a relatively high level. It's basically the same ideas, it's just a little bit of a different macro, but the same ideas militarily speaking, strategically speaking, so that's a thing as well. But we'll see how this game's going to go. We do have a Loki versus Poseidon matchup at this point, which is... I like this matchup. I think it's a really, really fun one. I do think that the Loki player has generally got the advantages here, so the Poseidon player has to be a little bit creative with how they're going to work out how to win. But we'll see what Matreiuss is going to come up with here. We do see that Matreiuss is actually going for what, to me, looks like a slower build order. So he's going for a delayed gold villages, which I think is... I think the more you watch Greek players playing in the next couple of months, the more you're going to see players going for the earlier gold villager. Because if you just put one gold villager here with Poseidon at the very beginning, it gives you enough gold to get the temple up by for a 402 advance time. So even if you don't want to go for a 402 advance and you want to go for, like, say, a 430 advance, you can make that happen as well. Though Matreiuss is much more of a fan of getting his early Theseus out, so this is possibly why he gets the second gold villager here. But personally, I don't feel like that Theseus is really that useful at all. Anyways, we'll see how things are going to go as the game progresses along. If Gaboo's doing anything interesting over here. It looks like Gaboo's just going for the kind of old standard Loki build with the two gatherers on gold first. This is something which we aren't seeing from other top Norse players anymore. Most of them are building a single dwarf out first, chopping some wood down, and then coming over onto their hunt to get a little bit of a bonus on their economy earlier. Yes, the dwarf takes a little bit longer to train than a gatherer, costs a little bit more resources, but it will pay for itself in spades if you put it onto gold over what a gatherer will pay for itself. Anyways, we see the villagers moving over onto this elephant right now, and they're going to start shooting that one down. It's a nice little bit of food for him to find here, but it does take a while to kill the elephant. So generally speaking, if you can help it, you want to avoid eating the big difficult to kill units first, because it just costs so much gather time to kill off the elephant. And in fact, I think it might even be worth it to do crazy things like kill off the elephant with, like, Herser or something in the early stages of the classical age or later stages of the classical age, if you find the time to do that instead of using your villagers there, just to get yourself a little bit more of a boost to your economy. Matreiuss, on the other hand, now he is going up through Hermes, and he does decide to not go for that Theseus here. He does know, however, that this elephant is getting grabbed, so I'm a bit surprised to see no Theseus, seeing as he knows that that's there. But early Hermes with everything going on here, 416. It's not as fast as the 402, but 416 is still relatively quick. Actually, no, he did get the Theseus. What am I talking about? Did he go for a 402 with a Theseus? What would that make it? A 411, I guess. We'll wait and see. Maybe I just misread the Hermes timing and it's a just a standard advance time. But going to get a villager kill here. Good path blocking from Matreiuss. Sacrifices Katoskopos for it, though, as he's going to continue to harass you. That's a really, really big win in the early game for Matreiuss, and pays off this Theseus, this early Theseus very, very easily. A very big win there for Matreiuss in the early stages of this game, as he does drop his stable down over here. Going to get his Hippolyta out as well, getting his Centaur down. And I imagine he's going to throw down that next stable as well. very, very shortly after. So going for the double staples against the Loki here as Hursa starting to come out to defend against this Theseus as the Ulfsark is going to be retreating back. We see the Centaur going to be moving forward. These villagers over on this hunt just about to finish up on that one. They can move over onto the Zebra as well, have no real problems there. If we take a look at the economic upgrades here for Matreiuss, is choosing not to get any economic upgrades here in favor of saving resources for something else, I assume. Meanwhile, over here we do see the Theseus going to town on these Hursa. Going to be retreating away now that the Hursa are there. And the Troll going to be moving across the map as Matreiuss's Hippolyta coming in. We do see a little bit of path blocking here as the Hippolyta tries to get as close to this as possible. Does manage to trade the Centaur for a Troll there. As the Hursa are going to be retreating back, and Gaboo is simply put just going to drop a healing spring here and be completely fine. We will be seeing that Gaboo's elephant here, he has retreated off of it for the time being. I'm not sure how much food is left in it, but he's moved over onto this hunt in the back of the map. Has 2 rhinoceros there as well. So there's not going to be a whole lot that Matreiuss can do about that, though he is moving around there. He does know that this is where those units are, and those Hippocon are going to start moving across the map right here and now as the Hursa sit in the base of Gaboo, healing back up. And Gaboo's got a timer here. He knows that the units are coming. He has spied the Hippolyta here. And he's going to be sending his Hursa up onto this position now to defend his villages. He very much needs to defend this position. So we'll see if he's going to be able to manage to do that or not. As Matreiuss, on the other hand, he's finishing up his hunt in his main base. He's eating the giraffe over here, getting those berries up as the army coming through. We'll also see medium Hippocon coming through. It's actually a really, really big upgrade to give the extra HP onto the Hippocon, which the Hursa basically can't get until you get your armory out and start getting yourself like a copper mail is kind of the counter to medium Hippocon, which obviously costs 150 wood plus the 300 resources for the upgrade. So to get that bonus here. So there's a smart play from Matreiuss to go for this, but the Hursa are out now with Hall of Thanes, and he does manage to catch one of those Hippocon out, though it is going to be sitting in... Oh. Don't ask me how that happened, but it happened. One Hursa does fall. This Hippocon is very, very lucky to be alive, but it looks like another Hippocon getting a lot of damage done onto it, as he will be keeping that Hippocon alive there with 10 HP. However, it does stop there and might even lose that one there as well, as we do see the Hippocon coming onto another location over here. Hippocon does fall. Gaboo loses 1 Hursa. Matreiuss loses 1 Hippocon. So basically equal trades here. Though Gaboo can now move back over onto this hunt if he so chooses. Now that he has his Hall of Thanes Hursa, he definitely should be considering doing that. But it looks like he's just going to be moving across the map instead, going for some picks, trying to not have any weaknesses in his position in trading that for something else. And we can actually see that Matreiuss is doing exactly the same thing, though. Matreiuss seems to have all of the pigs here. Do we have husbandry through? Yes, we do. So Matreiuss's economy here is relatively safe. We also see watchtowers coming through as well for Gaboo. So big investment from Gaboo here in the early game. Probably would have been better for him to just take villagers off of wood and go on to food for more food-based units instead. But he's continuing to get that wood out of here, and it looks like for some reason he also has just no pigs in his base either. So this is a really, really weird situation for Gaboo to be in. Matreiuss is going to be living the dream here. One of the biggest advantages of herdables is that your villager that trains immediately gets to work. So you have no walking time to really deal with that, as we see a whole bunch of villagers now moving over onto the favor here for Matreiuss, as Matreiuss is going to be wanting to get himself Spirited Charge most likely here, which does allow his Hippocon to keep up with the speed of the Hursa. But I think the better play here, more times than not, is to actually just drop an armory and get yourself copper mail and copper weapons. That's basically the same amount of resources spent. If you think about what Spirited Charge costs, is 25 favor, 250 food, which is 500 resources, which is basically the same as copper weapons, copper mail. But Matreiuss doesn't go for that in favor of the speed. Obviously, you don't get the speed buff if you go for those other 2 upgrades. But we will be seeing now Gaboo moving back over onto this onto this Rhinoceros here. Going to be eating that one up and having a lot more production. Gaboo sitting at 85 population here to Matreiuss's 97 population. As the Hersa coming onto this position, we do see the villagers retreating back here nicely. Going to be getting back into the town center, get a little bit of damage done onto them. And he doesn't quite manage to pick it off. It was on 1 HP here as a troll spawn does come through. Do we see the troll going after the low HP villager? Yes, we do, but Matreiuss is too quick to deal with that. As the troll gets taken down, a Hersa goes down. Matreiuss now has his spirited charge coming through. Going to be pulling his villagers off of the temple immediately there as the wall coming up over on this position. We see the Hippocon going to be moving back over onto this position as he sees the villagers are over there. And Gaboo has got nothing back here to defend this as the Hersa the Hippocon come through. A little bit of a jump up onto the mini-map was spotted there as the villagers do go idle for the time being. The Hippocon going to be coming in, but that's going to give Gaboo the immediate reaction to retreat there. He got very lucky there that his idle villagers dropped or spotted just as the Hippocon came through. A couple of villagers will be getting sniped here. One very low HP dwarf is here, will get taken out. As the Hippocon going to be retreating back, we see on this position, Hersa turning around. A spirited charge is just about to pop here for Matreiuss. It wouldn't be a bad idea to try and get to the next age here as these villagers on the wood line going to be getting taken down. There is a watchtower over here as we see a little bit of an attempt to turn around and shank this down as the Hersa have to retreat back. These Hippocons sitting back on this position going to be preventing this, and we do see the Hippocon coming back through over here wanting to take this fight, taking down their raiding cavalry, taking down the Hersa and everything else here as they have to retreat back. The villagers could turn and take this fight, but it's going to be a very difficult fight to win for Gaboo here as Gaboo continuing to try and take this one. Meanwhile, leaving his own Hippocon in his main base over here as the villagers going to pull off of this position here, trying to start shanking down a little bit, but the Hippocon get the advantage here for the most part as this Hersa gets taken down as well as the army coming through here in onto this position, taking everything down as best as they can. 1, 2, 3, 4 villagers getting picked off as now the Hersa come through here. And Matreiuss might want to just retreat out of here. He's losing a lot of Hippocon at the end of this raid, but he will get out of here with at least 3 Hippocon, and he's done a lot of damage there. So very, very big win for him here as now the villagers moving out into the middle of the map, going to get the stable going onto these giraffe in the middle of the map. No walls up just yet for Matreiuss, which would be a really good idea there onto this gold mine to start defending that as best as he possibly can. As the Hippocon coming through onto this position here, going to start taking out a couple more Hersa. Gaboo, on the other hand, he has to throw down farms here. He's in a very, very difficult position right now. We do see an Einiyar spawn, and Matreiuss is just going to leave that one there as the wall's coming up over onto this position here, and we do see the Rhinoceros getting eaten, but will the Hippocon be able to get in here and do this damage? As it looks like Matreiuss just says, all right, it's not going to be a time to go in and hit that location anymore. Going to try and take out this watchtower, keep putting pressure on. You can see that the villagers are on the farms now as well. So Matreiuss should know he's got a big advantage moving forward here. Gaboo's got tons of wood in the bank and gold at this point as the Hippolyta going to town on that Einiyar over here as the Einiyar does give the big boost of damage onto these units, but Matreiuss now going to be taking down these units very, very easily here, and Gaboo has to retreat back. Matreiuss has got a huge advantage now moving forward in this game as the Hersa just are not going to be able to cut it as the Hippocon swinging through here. There is going to be a somewhat of a retreat path through the top side using the gate here, but there are going to be a handful of units over here for Matreiuss to get a little bit of damage done onto these villagers as they try and make that retreat path here, but it does look like at least a little bit of damage is going to be coming through. Gaboo is kind of getting away with murder on this gold mine over here, but we see already the Hippocon going to be moving around here looking to attack that gold mine, knowing that Gaboo has to be getting gold somewhere. And Matreiuss knows where they all are as he does come over here, and he will be taking that attack or hitting these units. So he's already grabbing 3,000 gold on this location as the dwarves are going to start getting taken down. Matreiuss runs through the very center of the base here, coming through onto this position to start taking these dwarves out. The dwarves are starting to get a little bit of damage done. Good micro here from Matreiuss to pull back as the rest of the Hippocon are coming through, and we see Dionysus clicking up for Matreiuss here as the Hippocon coming through here to just to try and get a little bit of defense, but all the dwarves getting picked off. Meanwhile, on this position, we do see a counter raid coming through for Gaboo, pushing the villagers off of this location, but the wall is up, so a lot of these villagers will be able to retreat. Good path blocking there from Gaboo, but Gaboo loses all of his dwarves at this point. We're also going to see the Hippolyta. They're going to almost pick off the, or will pick off the raiding cavalry there. Huge play from Matreiuss. He's in such a commanding position. Dionysus coming through. I'm surprised to see Matreiuss not jumping onto the temple here to get himself early Thracian horses as well. He's probably going to get himself the heavy cavalry as well. But these are going to start becoming very, very difficult to deal with here at this point. As Gaboo now coming back over onto this position over here. We will see the Hippolyta getting taken down as Gaboo wants to grab his gold mine over here, but he's got a very, very small amount of resources in the, or a small amount of villagers in the bank here, or currently gathering, I should say. As Dionysus hits, Matreiuss going to be moving in, and Gaboo says, I understand. You are way too far in front of me, and I will have to tap out. GG. Well played by Matreiuss. This one was an interesting game because Gaboo lost that early villager over here. And I think this whole entire situation was caused by Gaboo going for the elephant in the early stages of the game, losing all of that extra hunt that he otherwise would have had he maybe come over here onto the gazelle, onto the rhino on the back, or even coming over onto the zebra over here, or even in the middle of the map onto the giraffe here. Had he done any of those options, one, he wouldn't have had any lost HP on his villagers, so that Theseus wouldn't have gotten an early villager kill. And two, he would have had more resources to produce Hersa to defend his early hunt. And then, given that he was on the back foot from the get-go, he just couldn't get the hunt out to produce his Hersa that he needs to defend against the early onslaught of those Hippocon. And Matreiuss just did not give him an inch after that early pressure. He did go for the Spirited Charge. He does have Copper Mail and Copper Weapon, so in the end, he does go for all of the upgrades. So it does make sense that he went for it, even though I said probably not worth it. And he is going to be grabbing a talent center and just pushing himself even further ahead in this game. So GG, well played. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.